You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to turn the beat in at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
And good evening, everybody. My name's Eric Perugini. I'm here with Chris Lahiff, and this is another edition of the Philly podcast presented by SixPackCoverage.com, La Terrain Watches, and themonkeysuncle.net. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the divisional playoff round in the NFL from this past weekend, and what an exciting weekend that was for football. I mean, I usually love wild card weekend, but this really this divisional round playoffs really took it to the next level. So, how are you, Chris?
I guess my blood pressure's down after, this week of football. Like, what a week! Like, what a weekend! It's I can't remember 4 games this exciting ever. Yeah. Darth Pooh. So boring. He's pretty funny. So boring. He knows he's pretty funny. He actually hit big. He actually hit, I think he said he hit some parlays. But let's get out of here. There we go. So apparently Eric left. So, we have some, talk about this weekend of football, the most exciting. Hey, he's back. We all right?
I'm having problems hearing you again. You're sounding all slow. I got to log off and come back on.
Okay, log off.
All right, well, just do your thing.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Cool. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Nah, so we had a good weekend of divisional round football. You had the Chiefs you had the Bengals and the Titans play on Saturday, which was a good game. So that was came down to the wire. When we did our picks, cool. All right, community. You're right. I was wrong. When we did our picks, I had picked Tennessee because, coaching. While Joe Burrow was good, and he threw for 300 yards, he didn't throw no touchdowns. Unfortunately, I think Kansas City is going to win because you can't beat Kansas City with field goals. We'll talk about that game on Thursday, but Tennessee's defense sacked him 9 times. Imagine if he on an offensive line, how great Joe Burrow could be.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of people gave the Bengals flack for drafting Jamar Chase and not drafting offensive lineman. I don't know, man. I feel Jamar Chase is a special player. So, if you go, as long as whether they win or lose Sunday, the biggest thing is coming out not injured. If you come in and you come out uninjured, whether you win or lose, who's to say that the Bengals, and again, it's just a crazy offseason prediction. I had posted one earlier about quarterbacks where they were going to be. Who's to say the Bengals GM doesn't call the Eagles and say, listen, I'll swap if they win and they lose the Super Bowl. You swap 31 and a first round in 2023 for either 16 or 18. Who's to say? It's little scenarios like that Cincinnati could look at, get alignment for next year. But, Cincinnati holds on, that kicker McPherson 5th round draft pick. Not many kickers get drafted. They're usually free agent signees or their 7th round picks. They're not even Mr. Irrelevant, which is bananas because how crazy do you need kickers? And kickers won every game this weekend. Every single game, with the exception of the last one, which we'll get into, was won by kickers. Like McPherson hit what, 4 field goals?
I think it was 4. I think it
Yeah,
was 4.
he's 9 for 9 in the playoffs. That's
Yeah, I
and he's a
mean,
rookie.
yeah, he literally, like you say, he kicked them in. He kicked them to a win.
Can't do that against Kansas City, unfortunately.
No, you can't. I mean, Kansas City is to beat Kansas City. You have to do what we saw, like how it was a shootout. You just have to hope that outduel Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to. That's what the NFL is going to be now, like in these playoffs, like for years to come. Darth Pooh, Pat showing Dak how to do it without cheating or crying. That's funny.
Hey, listen, anytime you can take a stab at a Dallas Cowboy, we'll allow it.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was such a fun divisional round playoffs all over the place, and then how it ended with the night game. So much, like, dude. I texted you at one point. I was like, dude, I have to stop with football for a minute. I couldn't take it no more. I was like, I got to stop.
The blood pressure.
Yeah, I had to walk away from watching for a little while. I was like, oh my god. Then I went back to it, and I'm glad I did. To watch the final game of the weekend. But see, when we were talking on our the last show that we did with Pat and going over our picks and everything, doing the weekend show for the playoffs. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I took Cincinnati, and I
Yeah,
remember.
Cincinnati. It was everyone took the same except the Cincinnati Nashville game. Tennessee. I keep saying Nashville.
Nah, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you went with Tennessee or Nashville, whatever it is. And now you got me doing it. Yeah, you went with them like you did with the coach, and I know Derrick Henry had part to play in that too with him coming back.
And he didn't have a bad game.
No, he didn't. He didn't at all. He had a pretty good game, and it's really all you can really ask for. Like that's all they wanted out of him. They wanted a good game, and I mean they got it. I mean you're talking 20 carries for 62 yards. He scored. So it's the other thing that hurt them in that game was Tannehill did have 3 interceptions.
Right. That was the difference.
Yeah.
You can sack Joe Burrow all you want, but if you don't turn them into turnovers, it doesn't mean anything. They had 3 turnovers, and the third turnover, it really wasn't his fault. Like, the receiver should have came down with it. It was.
Yeah.
But he still threw 3. He still had 3 interceptions on the
Yeah.
stat
At the end of
sheet.
the day, At the end of the day, it comes in. It's 3 turnovers by him, and I mean, I saw a bunch of people like I was talking to some people online about what look at the quarterbacks that are still in it, and out of 4 of them, 3 of them I consider to be elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and I was just laughing. Like, well, you can't say that about Joe Burrow. He didn't throw a touchdown. I was like, no, he didn't throw a touchdown. I said, but.
He's he's the best quarterback in the NFC East if he goes there right now.
Exactly. I was like, he may not have thrown a touchdown pass. I said, but he also was able to make throws. He made throws, and like you brought it up earlier. It's Jamar Chase. What more does he need? I mean, Joe Mixon had a good game for them, but that offense is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, which I think you're right. I think they're going to go. They're going to do something in the draft for an offensive lineman. They have to.
They have to.
They have
to.
I mean, that kid was getting killed out there. Like, I was surprised he was standing.
They still have to play Pittsburgh and the Ravens twice a year, and they're always good defensively.
Yeah.
Even Cleveland's good defensively.
Yeah, they built that defense up from where it was. So I just. Although I do agree with Darth Pooh, kickers aren't football players. I can't stand the position. That's why I'm so glad in my one fantasy league we totally got rid of kickers.
Oh,
So
you guys are horrible.
we went with the whole. We went away with kickers.
No,
and,
I'm talking
and
about
team.
you guys saying cookers aren't football players.
Oh look, I mean, would I be a football player if they told me to suit up and just like hold up the net that the kicker kicks into? Get out of here! No, 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 they're not football players. Well, I mean, technically they are, but I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But anyway,
They were
that's not
football
nothing for
players 3 times this week.
yeah, well, they were brought back the shades of waiting for Adam Vinatieri to come out and just kick them, kick New England further and further into the playoffs. Um, Now that game was a good game though. I did enjoy watching that game. That was a fun game to watch. Uh, I was taking Tennessee. I'm sorry, I was taking Cincinnati because I like Burrow over Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
That was why.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why I took. That's how I judge the games. Like you want to talk about being completely shocked. I mean, look at what happened with San Fran and Green Bay.
We'll get to that.
You know what I mean? I mean that was a complete. Oh, I don't even know now if you want to call it a complete shock. I mean,
We said it. We said it.
Yeah.
He said we're all taking Green Bay, but don't be so. I will not be shocked if San Fran wins this game.
And that was all Debo Samuel for them. That's all that was. That dude just lines up everywhere. He's everywhere. You can't stop him. But so you want to stick to the other one though. But yeah, no, that was why I took Cincinnati though. I just went with the quarterback over. I looked at that play. I mean, because realistically they matched up very well against each other. The quarterbacks, they were very similar numbers in the regular season. Then you have one with A.J. Brown versus Jamar Chase. That was, and then Joe Mixon versus, Derrick Henry. Like it matched up very well.
That catch that AJ Brown had was ridiculous.
Was that sick? Was that sick?
Like I can't do that in Madden.
No. This guy's like playing Madden in real life. It was unreal. I was like, wow, that was a great catch.
Yeah. So so obviously, we did that. So let's go to the Saturday night game. Green Bay and Mr. Rogers versus what's his name? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Garoppolo the fact that they won that game, I just couldn't take it. I really couldn't. He threw for 131 yards. That was all he had. 131 yards with 1 INT. He averaged 6.9 yards per pass. That's disgusting.
But like you said, when you have Debo Samuel and you can just hand it off.
Well, yeah, I mean, and plus their game was also based with Elijah Mitchell too. I mean, Debo Samuel had 10 touches for 39 yards, and Elijah Mitchell he had 17 for 53.
But what's funny is he threw 10 less passes than Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers only had 225 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers is, if you go out and you ask anyone, they'll say he's the real GOAT. Like the conversation's over. Like,
yeah, no, I don't know. I can't say that no more. I mean, look, you sit there, you talk about the Green Bay Packers, and they've had what, like almost 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and their last 2 quarterbacks combined.
2.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls.
So, which is going to lead me to the next conversation, and the Flyers just gave up a goal. Which is going to lead me to the next conversation. That real quick, obviously breaking news earlier today: Sean Payton retired.
Right.
And everyone is like, "Oh my god!" Now, Sean Payton's a good coach. Let's be realistic. Like, he's a good coach. Like, do I think he is a great coach? No. He's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
Would I take him on my team? Yes.
Yes.
But he's 1-2 in conference championship games. He's only got 1 Super Bowl win in 15 years. 1 Super Bowl appearance in 15 years. I mean, Andy Reid's got 8 conference championship games, and he's now done it twice where he's appeared in 4 straight.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's a GOAT. He may only have 1 Super Bowl, but he's a GOAT.
Oh, he's definitely the GOAT.
He's up there with the Belichicks. Obviously, no one will catch Belichick because of Brady and all that stuff. But he's in the conversation. I don't think Peyton's in that conversation. He's in the lower tier of, if you want to say GOAT coaches.
Yeah, he's close. He's close. But you're right though. Like you talk about Reed, he is GOAT, and he's got, like you said, the conference title games compared to the Super Bowls that Belichick has. Andy Reid, like you said, he's done it twice now, 4 straight conference championship games with 2 different teams, one in the NFC, one in the AFC. But he's also just done something for the first time, hosting 4 straight conference championship games. No other coach has ever done that. I give him GOAT status for sure, but he's in a way, because of Belichick and how many Super Bowls he has, it's kind of like Reed's like the king of coming in second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that's the kind of feeling I get, and I hate to say that about Andy Reid, but it's literally the truth. I mean, but he's set up a lot better in Kansas City than he was here. He is.
Listen, the guy knows quarterbacks.
He does.
You can say what you want about him. He knows quarterbacks. So we're going to go to a play from the Washington game, from the 49ers game that just turned it around.
Defense in each of the last 3 games, and it's blocked. Up into the air and spinning inside the 10. Picked up and a touchdown. Hufanga got the return for the touchdown after the block by Jordan Willis, and the special teams.
Well, number one.
First off, how hard was that ball that he blocked it? Because that ball went straight up, and they couldn't find it. And I know the snow didn't help, but nobody knew where that ball was.
Yeah, no one knew where it was. And I'm sorry, for a quick minute there, I thought the announcer was cursing when he was saying the guy's last name. I'm like, what was that?
Joe Buck.
Yeah, I was like, what did he just say? I was like, is he cursing? I'm like, and then when it came up on screen, I was like, oh, he was saying his name. I'd never heard that name before. I was like, that's cool.
Special teams is when you find out, these players and their names. So you had that play. I don't have the play, but they blocked the field goal before the end of the half.
Yes.
And then let's go to the most important play of the Packer season.
There's a snap, high snap, placement made, kick end over end to the uprights, and it is good. The San Francisco 49ers advance.
This is the end of the game.
With a 13-10 victory over the Green Bay Packers on a 45-yard field goal by Robbie Gould as time expires. A gut-wrenching, heart-breaking defeat.
I love it. It was Green Bay's radio cast. So I was able to pull that up.
That's pretty good.
So hold on. Most important play of the Packer season, and they had 10 players on the field.
Yep.
10.
That's it. 10.
10. It's been 10 years, man. Like Gross point blank. 10 players on the field. That's again, coaching is losing games.
Yeah.
Like we go back there earlier in the Tennessee game. You're at the 35. You take the points. It's the field goal. And they couldn't get a yard on 2 plays. It's oh man. But it came down to defense. Like you said, Rodgers was sacked 5 times. That line didn't hold up in the cold. Like Green Bay's 49ers defense it's no joke. Like,
oh, their defense is tremendous. It really is. And you could tell that they wanted it more. Like they were all over that offensive line. They were just all over them.
Yeah, they were just like you said, all over killing them.
Yeah, I mean
he was scrambling.
Rodgers looked like Russell Wilson out there just getting destroyed.
I mean, they had one, and you think about it, they only had one play. It was a broken coverage. Aaron Jones had a 75-yard touchdown catch, not 70, not touchdown catch. He had a 75-yard run and pass on a broken coverage. So at the end of the day, he only had 150 yards.
That's it.
Like that's as bad as Jimmy Garoppolo was, Rodgers was no better.
No, he really wasn't. Like that was a very poor game for the quarterbacks. That really was. It was total defensive, struggle back and forth. Although I did enjoy it though because it came down to the end, like towards the end, like it was snowing in Green Bay. I loved it. I was like that to me that was football. I was having a good time with it, but it just makes me wonder like what's Rodgers going to do now? What's he going to do?
I don't know, but like you said, and that was another game. 4 seconds left.
Yeah, that was it. That's all it was.
But yeah. So now we'll move on to the next game. That really wasn't much to talk about in the Packers 49ers game.
No.
Let's see. Here's one play from the next game.
Wide to the left. Brady looking the other way. Brady going deep down the right sideline for Evans. He makes the catch. He's in for the score.
"44 years old, threw a 65-yard strike. I woke up this morning on the wrong side of bed and I had to take aspirin."
Well, that's what Jalen Ramsey felt like after that. Like, how did he just let Evans do that? Like, it didn't look like Evans had any, like nothing. And what were we talking about in the last show? That Mike Evans is like that sneaky 1,000-yard receiver who just shows up and he does
9 to 10 touchdowns a year. Doesn't do he's not the flashy, craziness. Here's another play. This is a big play.
He does get out. Stafford deep downfield. He's got Cup again.
We'll go back to that play. That wasn't a play I was looking about. Maybe.
Making up the box. 3rd and 20. Stafford going for it all. He's got a wide open man. It's Cooper Kupp who gets free. And Kupp rolls all the way to the end zone.
How does Cooper Kupp continually get wide open?
I would have him double team the whole game. You have to. The guy was the best wide receiver. He had almost 2,000 yards receiving. And you let him get wide open like that. And then he makes that cut, and it's like there's no one there. There
was 3 defenders there.
Yeah, and he just went right past them all like nothing.
It's amazing how good Cooper Kupp is, and he's been good, for years, for 3-4 years.
183 receiving yards in that game. 183 on 9 catches. He averaged 20.3 yards per catch. That's insane.
You might want to cover him. I don't know. I'm no football guy, but I feel
you have to. I would have that. He's their offense. He really is. He's their offense. I mean, you had Cam Akers who was getting like his first full start, and like he's starting to get in. I mean, he had almost 50 yards rushing on the day. So I mean, he got 24 attempts. I mean, yeah, he averaged 2 yards a carry, but after he's coming off of, that injury, I would have all day long make them use the running game. Just take Kupp out of it. Take him out of it. Take your chances with Higbee going across the middle and stuff like that. But I would have made them try and use Cam Akers to like work that leg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. And he was your wild card player of the week, and he almost screwed the Rams. He had 2 fumbles.
Yep.
He had one at the end of the half, and then one that led to, I don't know if it was the game-tying touchdown or that touchdown that we saw with Mike Evans.
Right. But, that was. I mean, I'm a Cam Akers fan, but I mean that to me was a no-brainer. Just double team Cooper Kupp and let the running game try and beat you.
So I got a funny story. So tonight I had to go drop off some stuff for troops for Veterans Day. We have a friend who's very involved with veterans and getting stuff out, and I think they're sending it to Kuwait. And well, her daughter's in the ROTC, all other stuff. So she went to the game on Sunday, the Rams and Buccaneers game.
Nice.
She left early because it was boring.
Oh my God. People.
Molly Kane, if you're watching, I know you're not. I'm gonna stab you in your face the next time I see you.
If someone is watching that knows her, let her know she just got a shout out and a death threat.
Right. Oh, I love you, but I'm gonna stab you right in the face.
You're a great
Stop
person,
it.
but you're
Stop
done.
it. She just ran like 26 miles. She did a crazy run for the ROTC. I'm losing if I even try and fight her.
That's great. That's awesome, though.
Yeah, she's like, I left early. Game was boring.
I left early. Game was boring. That's
So let's do this. Let's go to a couple other plays, see what they're up.
Making up the box.
We got that one.
He does get out.
Stafford, deep downfield. He's got Cup again. He's at the 10. Stafford says, let's get down there. We gotta clock it. We gotta get the field goal. Clock running down. They have time. Rams getting set. Getting ready for Matt Gay to come in. He spikes it there, and Matt Gay will come in and try to win the game.
Why would you send an all-out blitz?
Yeah,
and again, put Cooper Kupp one-on-one.
That was just, that play, that was all Bruce Arians on that one. That really was. Like, he should know better. He should know better than that. The guy's been around forever.
So I don't know if you saw the video that's circling the internet about how what was it that the Dallas fans were really robbed because Stafford set the ball. Like, no, idiot. Cooper Kupp handed the official. You can hand the umpire or the back judge the ball and they can spot it.
And they spot it. Exactly.
And they were waiting for people. They were waiting. They were still running. Like Dak Prescott ran and then tried to set his own ball.
Yeah, see, that's because these people, they're their team, their quarterback, and the fans don't know the rules. They don't know the rules. So, of course, now this is going to be another controversy for them where they got robbed. And, next year's their year, going on 27. So, it's,
I'm just we're not going to talk about it.
You have to bring up the stinking Cowboys fans.
Well, yeah, because they had to bring it because they were comparing plays. They're clearly no different plays.
And you know what? Plays. Right now, they are about as relevant in the playoff talk as we are as Eagles fans. Neither one of us are in there. I don't care what they got to say. They're just, God,
they're better.
They're such degenerates. Degenerates. They are. The thing that makes me mad about Dallas Cowboys fans is that this friggin' world could have like a catastrophic event happen and people are dying and everything, and the cockroaches that survive, that come up from out of the ground, to start civilization again, would be the Dallas Cowboys fans, because they just, thank you. Now my blood pressure went up.
You're welcome.
Killing me. I can't stand Cowboys fans. So, God.
No,
God.
really?
Well, the good thing, though, is Troy Aikman killed them. He crushed them. And then Drew Pearson crushed them. And Drew Pearson came flat out and said it like that, about the quarterback. And I'm like, here we go. So, now you have legends that are coming out and speaking out, like one against like Dak Prescott. Well, actually both of them, because Troy was very critical of him on that last play. So, and what do you call him? Oh, then Troy also said that at the end of the day, that he compared them to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Come on. Now you want to talk about a slap in the face?
Yeah, that's oof. Just hit him right where it hurts.
And Jerry loves to read the headlines. Good old Jerry. He loves to read them headlines there, boss. So I mean, it's you know that's going to like eat at him. That's going to grind his gears.
As it should. It's it's. But let's get back to the game. So obviously Tom Brady loses. And now the talk is happening. Like it sounds like he might retire.
Well, you know what?
As my wife sits next to me and laughs.
Hey, if he does, good for him. I mean, he don't have nothing to prove. I mean, he has nothing to prove. He proved everything he needed to when he went and won the Super Bowl last year with Tampa Bay. That was it. He proved it. Like it wasn't all Belichick. You know what I mean? So he just proved that he's not a system guy. That he is that good. So I mean, he's got nothing left to prove. Nothing at all.
Yeah, well,
And good for him.
Yeah, I mean so now you have Stafford winning, and it's just
I'm not gonna lie. Going into the rest of the playoffs, I do have I kind of want to see Stafford win it because
there's
he's
nothing wrong
always
with that.
yeah, I mean he's always been like a good quarterback and he was just in a bad situation. He was just with a bad organization. And now
That way he was talking about the Dallas game. I'm not bringing that
oh
up.
oh yeah. So where was I? Oh, Stafford. Yeah. Yeah, like I do.
The rooting interest.
Yeah, I do. I have a rooting interest for him. And well, first of all, another guy that we didn't talk about real quick in that game was Beckham.
Yeah.
Beckham is totally gelling with that offense, and his contract is literally nothing for this year. So
Literally.
it really is. It's literally nothing. Like it's less than $1 million. So and he's going to be a free agent, and I'm like, if they win, I don't see him leaving there. I don't see him leaving there at all.
I don't know. You never know. Money talks, man.
It does. It does. But I mean, he's definitely going to prove a lot of people wrong if they win, because I mean, he's just slowly becoming like he's taking over that spot that Robert Woods had. Like they just went from having Cup and Robert Woods to Cup and Odell Beckham Jr. And I mean, just a few years ago, Robert Woods was nothing special.
Yeah. Well, there's the rumors are starting that, the Eagles are going to make a run at Odell Beckham.
I would be okay with that. Like there was talk about that like for the last 2 years, and I was like, okay, bring him in. Bring him in, especially now. Like you see what he's doing alongside Cooper Kupp. Okay, and if you honestly want the Eagles want to go with Jalen Hurts going forward, this is a good 1-2 to have with Devontae Smith and Odell Beckham Jr. That's a very good 1-2 combination to have.
Oh, I don't know, man. Jalen, and I guess Jalen still scares me.
And that's fine. I mean, not that he should scare you, but it's understandable why he does. I mean, you look at. Look, I was telling somebody today, Steve Kerr from CBS Sportsline uh, he was on a show, and I saw someone shared it. It was on one of the chat groups, and he was basically saying, he named Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow all in the AFC, talking about those guys, saying like how Jalen Hurts is not them. It's like he was talking about elite level quarterbacks that are still in the playoffs right now, and I was like, oh man, people are not going to like that, and sure as hell, people, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'm like, I was getting crushed all week because I said in a chat group that he's not an elite level quarterback. He can't read a defense, and he's got a weak arm. He can't make the throws.
Wait a minute. People were getting mad because you were saying that he's not an elite level quarterback.
Yeah, because it's only his first year starting that he still has. Now it's gone from it's gone from he's only had 5 starts. He's only had 8 starts. Now he's only had 22 starts. Now it's how many starts does a kid need? Now, if anything, the level of play that we just saw from that last game between Mahomes and Josh Allen,
We're
the
nowhere
level
near.
of play that we just saw, Jalen Hurts will never be at that level. I mean, like with his arm and legs combined, never. I mean, especially with the arm, never. It just will not happen. And people keep saying, "Oh, well, he can develop arm strength." You can't develop arm strength. You have it or you don't. You can develop reading a defense. You can develop accuracy. With your timing, you can develop that stuff, and it'll help you ascend your game. But so I said, guys, no matter what, even if he, even if Jalen Hurts does wind up developing into some really good, like a top level, like a top 10 quarterback, he'll never beat Mahomes or Allen in a shootout. He'll never do that. I said, this absolutely won't do it.
No.
And I was getting killed all week long. I'm a hater. I'm like, guys, I'm not a hater. I said, I'm just using the eye test. Someone told me I should go eat more carrots. I'm like, okay.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I gave the guy credit. I was like, that's good. And John Gonzalez is correct. Cooper Kupp doesn't get enough recognition. I mean, he was slowly getting up there. I mean, but he had Jared Goff for these last few years, and now I think that's going to change after this season. That what he just did with Matt Stafford, he's arrived. He's totally arrived. So he's no longer that quiet wide receiver that you hear about, having a good game here or there.
Still getting wide open.
Yeah, now, you're right. Floodgate wide open. He's now the man. Like, sorry, Devontae Adams, move over. Here comes Cooper.
All right, so now we're gonna get to KC in Buffalo.
Straight bananas. That's the only way I could describe it.
I'm just gonna play some.
No first downs, just that one drive that was a quick one, and they go deep. They've got a man. It is Davis for his second touchdown of the night. Wow! You talked about quarterback. Down the middle. It's Hill in the open. Cuts it upfield. He might be gone. He is. Kansas City takes the lead with a minute to go from 64 incredible yards. Well, we talked about Josh Allen. 17 seconds. Down the middle to the end zone, and there it is. Touchdown number 4 on the night for Davis. I mean,
I have more, but I'm going to play them later. Bananas.
That was the only way I could describe that game. That's the only way I could describe it. I mean, I didn't like. Well, not that I didn't like it. The rules are the rules, and that's how it ended. But I mean, that was an amazing game. It just was. It was absolutely amazing.
So here's my thing. People want the rules changed. Again, no matter what, it's never going to be perfect.
No.
And it is never going to be anyone. Josh Allen said it the best. He's like, listen, that's the way of the game. He's like, I'd be celebrating too if I got Eds.
Yeah, exactly. Now
the only thing that I disagree with is a couple things. One, Buffalo played scared the 13 seconds left in the game and overtime. They played scared.
Right.
Number 2, Tyreek Hill should have been flagged for taunting, which in turn would have led to a shorter kickoff and would have took more time off the clock.
Sure.
Which there's variables that people don't think about, and in my crazy banana silly mind, I'm like, well, why are they not calling a penalty? Like, it should have been called. That's the definition of taunting. Bunning did it to him last year in the Super Bowl. He went deuce, and he got a taunting penalty. Why are we not giving it to them? Like, are we just not going to penalize the Chiefs anymore? Is that where we're at? Like, it's got to be. You got to be across the board, and the officials weren't that bad this weekend.
No, look, the Chiefs are they're the cream of the crop right now. I mean they ascended. That's what it is. So maybe that's part of it. They're just not calling things against them. I don't know. But no, I agree with you. I mean, you have to. I mean, there should have been a taunting penalty for that. There should have been.
Right, and the only reason that I bring it up is because of the 13 seconds that was left.
Right.
Would the Chiefs or would the Bills have probably scored quicker with a better field position? Yeah, but they also could have attacked it differently.
True.
You know what I mean? It could have been attacked. They might have had a game plan. It might have had this. They might have had that. But the Chiefs are becoming very unlikable.
Yeah, because it's kind of becoming obvious, who the NFL is leaning towards. I mean, for how long was it New England? They were the darling team.
They were the darling team, but the difference is there wasn't social media when New England was up and coming.
True, very true.
So now social media is a part of our everyday lives. No one wants to see that moron from Kansas City's brother dance. No one wants to see his idiot wife spray champagne. No one wants to hear his mom correct the reporter and say his name is Patrick, not Pat. Shut up. Shut up. Like, shut up. Like you are the mom. And the problem is Patrick Mahomes comes from, his dad played in Major League Baseball for a long time. So, he doesn't know any better. Our previous co-host is not a fan of him, of the Kansas City Chiefs. He got a little out of hand, and I get it, for his personal feelings. I stayed out of it. I was like, nope. I said, the only thing I want is he needs to catch one across the middle.
Right.
He keeps up with these taunting penalties. He's going to catch one.
Oh, someone's going to catch him.
Like
someone will.
Like, and you keep throwing the peace sign up, you're gonna do it to the wrong person. Like, I'm just, you're gonna sit there and he does everything he can to avoid contact, but with the way Mahomes plays, there could be that time an injury happens and the backup quarterback comes in and doesn't lead him the way he does, and you're gonna see a Ray Lewis, Chad Johnson type hit, and I don't know if anyone's ever seen that video. We all thought Chad Johnson died that day. He got right back up, though. He may not know where he was, but he got right back up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's like these guys, and they're the best athletes in the world, but they need to be grounded. And I think Patrick Mahomes is grounded because you other than his Kermit the Frog voice, he's not. You
don't hear nothing from him.
Right. His play does his talk.
Yeah, exactly.
His play does his talk, and he doesn't. He needs to get a hold. It is what it is with his wife. It is what it is. Take her for what she is. She's excited. She gets excited for her husband. She does crazy stuff, and I'm fine with that. Giselle did that, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
that stuff doesn't bother.
Yeah, Giselle went nuts cursing people out.
It's his brother. His brother has single-handedly done. He TikToked on one of the things for somebody's like something happened with Pittsburgh and he did a TikTok on a thing that Sean Taylor, Washington. He did a TikTok on Sean Taylor's thing. He moved the chain and did like a dance on the Sean Taylor logo. There's stuff like that. Like, he tried to single-handedly he used his Instagram to bash a restaurant in Kansas City because they wouldn't sit his party of like 17. COVID rules says you can't have 17 people in your party.
Yeah.
At that time. So grow up. Like,
exactly.
You're starting to tarnish your brother's legacy.
He's hurting his brother's reputation
because you're a moron. Do you know who? Well, you know who else did that a lot was Marcus Vick.
Yeah. Victor got a lot.
Like, shut up. Your brother got 2 $100 million contracts, Mike Vick, and you're still saying stupid stuff defending him when he's not even saying anything. Let it go. Let it go. But Jackson Mahomes wants to do what he wants to do. And there's eventually people are just gonna be like, no. Like, no, like he's good. Like, you can't dance on Sean Taylor's logo.
No, that's complete disrespect. You can't do something like that. I mean, and yeah, you're right. Like, social media has a lot to do with it, and it's kind of sad in a way. And I mean, and hell, I fall into the social media trap like all the time. It's like I can't stay off of it. But
we all do.
I'm sure as hell not going to like go and do a dance on a murdered football player's logo. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not doing something like that. Like, that's complete disrespect. I mean, it's one thing if you're TO running to stand over the star. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But like, this is a guy that was beloved, and you know what I mean? And you can't do that. And I mean, like, look, I'm not a Washington football team fan, but you can't go doing something like that to people's like. No, that's total disrespect. If I was Patrick Mahomes, I would have like taken my brother outside and just like bitch slapped the hell out of him, like, yo, quit your shit.
Right. There's stuff. So before we head out, you want to tell them about the event tomorrow?
Oh yeah, sure. Tomorrow, Chris and I will be doing a live broadcast from Monkey's Uncle in I always get it wrong where they're at.
Doylestown.
I forget what I said before. I never say Doylestown. I always say somewhere else.
Probably Downingtown.
Yeah, I say Downingtown. That's it. Yeah, no, but Chris and I are doing a live, special live edition of the Philly podcast from the Monkey's Uncle in Doylestown, PA tomorrow night. It is a special show. We will be interviewing live author and writer for I think
in the Inquirer.
For the Inquirer, Mike Cielski. He wrote a book called The Rise, which is about Kobe Bryant, and it's coming out. Well, it came out already, but he's having a book sign. What's that?
It came out January 11th.
Yeah, January 11th, and he's doing a book signing at Monkey's Uncle tomorrow night, and we are lucky enough to be the official podcast that will be interviewing Mike for this awesome event to talk about, well, Kobe Bryant and his impact on basketball and basically in culture, because the guy was larger than life, and I know we are both very honored to be part of this, and we cannot wait to talk to Mike about this. So tune in tomorrow. What time we go live? 6:45.
I think so. Yeah, I have a funny story that I want to tell tomorrow about Kobe Bryant and in 1996. My athletic days.
Your athletic days.
I'll save that for tomorrow. But yeah, the Monkey's Uncle and Mike Cielski are promoting it tomorrow. 7:45 on Fox, Good Day. 8:45 on Channel 17, and it'll be on WIP at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Ooh, good. I can't wait to hear that. Listen to Preston and Steve.
Oh, no, WIP. 94.
Oh, WIP. I thought you said MMR.
Yeah, to my knowledge, Derek just texted us.
Oh, cool.
So.
Very good.
But, yeah, so we'll be back Thursday. Tomorrow we'll be live doing that, but we'll be back Thursday to do our picks with Pat. With Pat. Yeah, and then we're gonna leave you with the booth call from the Chiefs game.
36-36 tie in overtime. Chiefs first down and goal to go. Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelsey on a push fade comeback. And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.